Hey YouTube, thanks for tuning in, that's how you say it, to another episode of VGAPR Garage, backed by, of course, popular demand, because a lot of you love seeing Jeeps worked on. We got this 2005 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo. Alright, so this may be a tie rod video, but it does help to take the rotor and the caliper off. First thing I'm going to do is find my pick. Now you can't see it. Your Jeep may not be equipped, this one is. There's a rubber ring that helps hold the rotor on. Watch this be the thing that takes the longest to do. Yeah, that's definitely what's going to happen. Come on out. There we go. Now, next step is to remove this bolt here, the caliper bolts, and there's one. Put them in your magnetic bin so you know where they go. The next one. There we go. And then you want to compress the caliper so you can get it off. Oh, magnetic bin, not on the box. Compress the caliper slightly. Take it off. Never let it hang by the brake line. Now we want to take this off. And there's this one. Just breaking them free with this. Now get my impact gun. One, and another one down here. There we go. And now have all this, and the rotor's off. Basically, I did it so you guys will be able to see what I'm doing with the tie rod. Alright, so I have the wheel turned out so that you can see what I'm going to attempt to do. I already sprayed it down with some PV Blast, and I'm hoping I don't have to heat this up. What I'm going to attempt to do is loosen this with and it worked. Okay, so what I did is I used a hammer and a wrench to break it free. On this vehicle, luckily, normally what you want to do is this lock nut right here will come free. Let me zoom you in on it. This lock nut will come free, and it's what helps with alignment because the inner tie rod will move in and out, helps with bringing the wheel out. But luckily on this one, the nut is so tight or is rusted on that it just stays in place, which is perfect for this case because now there won't be need to do an alignment because it's stuck in place. So now we have to remove this nut at the bottom of the tie rod, and I'm going to spray the threads down. Some PV Blast will work almost like a lubricant, and then we're going to break it free. I'm feeling I'm tightening it. And there we go. Broke it free. And then you get the joy of watching me spin this off with some great music. So I hope you enjoy. Alright, so now that the nut's off, we got to get the tie rod end out. This is an aluminum knuckle that it goes through, and I don't want to hammer on what it goes through. That's what you should do, is you hammer what it goes through to break it free. I don't want to do that. I'm also not reusing this tie rod end, so it doesn't matter. So I'm going to use a pickle fork. You wedge it between the steering knuckle and the tie rod end. Wedge it in there. Then you take a hammer, a large hammer. See if I can get it. And let me move out of the way, get you back in focus. Sorry. Focus. There we go. And then it'll pop it off. There we go. And it's free. Alright, so there is a cutoff on the tie rod end, or the inner tie rod, for you to put a wrench. There we go. And then I'm going to use another wrench to put here to help me spin this tie rod end off. And guess I'll run you guys through the whole thing so you can see exactly what I do, and hopefully I have enough frames to do that. What you can do is basically just hold this and turn your inner tie rod. It has the capability to just turn inside. So enjoy some sweet tunes that YouTube allows me to use. Alright, so you were lucky you got to speed through that. That took a long time, but tie rod end is off. So you want to take a look at your new part versus your old part, and I'm hoping you can see it. As you can see, there's an R here for right, and there's an R here for right. This is not paid for by Mevotech. I might say the name wrong, but I love Mevotech parts. Again, this is not paid for by them. I love Mevotech parts. I find that they last longer, they're better, they're a little bit more expensive, but if you get them from Rock Auto, I think these were 26 bucks a piece. That's relatively cheap. They also are non-serviceable. I make sure that they're non-serviceable. I hate non-serviceable parts because they get grease on everything. After a while, the grease will start coming out, and then as you drive, it'll lose out, and it just makes the job dirty. I like to stay as clean as I can, especially working on any vehicle, and then you can get dirt in there if you're just pumping grease in there. I don't like it. Non-serviceable, I think, is the way to go. Again, Mevotech, they're great for ball joints, like tie rod ends, that kind of stuff. They're great, and they even make bearings, which in the one video, I'll put a link in the description below, where I did a ball joint. I believe that was a Mevotech ball joint. Because they're great. So let's go ahead and get this put on. So I want to clean these threads off. Just going to take some brake clean. Get the threads cleaned off. Grab a paper towel. So I can do a good job cleaning them off. And just clean the threads off. And now what I'm going to do is take some anti-seize and run it down the threads, get a little bit on the nut, a little too much, and just run it down the threads. That way, in another 150,000 miles, when I have this Jeep, I'll be able to take it off. So yeah, and you're out of focus, and I'm sorry, the camera's just acting up. Alright, so the anti-seize on the threads, it's probably going to go out of focus, and I'm sorry for that. We're basically just going to take the tie rod end and spin it on. Now, alright, let's zoom you out so that you can actually see what I'm doing. Okay, so if this nut moved when you took yours off, you're going to want to put a paint mark on it so that you can get it at least close before you have to go to the alignment shop and have an alignment done. But luckily, like I said, in this case, the nut's rusted on. It's not going to need an alignment. It's going to be right back where it was, which is kind of what I was hoping for. I like it when it happens like this. But basically, just spin it on, and it's going to hit the nut, and there we go. We're good. And pull the ball joint out a little bit. Put the tie rod end in. There we go. I'm going to clean that extra anti-seize off. I hate extra anti-seize, and luckily that extra anti-seize will behind the nut is going to make it so it'll be easy to get off. Then, you know, down the road, hopefully it won't be driven much when I get it, but down the road it won't be an issue. So anyways, put the new nut on, and you're the big one, the pretty wrench, this one. Enjoy some music while I tighten this on. Actually, you're not that one. You're not that one either. No, it happened. Shoot. Okay, so if this ever happens to you, like it just happened to me, on the end of the tie rod is basically like a socket or a nut. So what you're going to want to do is take your wrench and then your other wrench and use that to put it on. Or, I mean, basically you could just take this one at the bottom and just use it to tighten it up. Chances are I'm basically loosening it, which is what it feels like. I could get the impact. Basically you're just tightening it with the tie rod rather than the nut because it's moving around. But yeah, you can do that. Back to the music. YouTube. So that's how you replace the front outer tie rods on a Jeep Grand Cherokee. I think it goes for quite a few years, like 05 to like 2014. But if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Let me know why. If you guys have any questions or comments, put them down in the comment section. I get back to everybody as fast as I possibly can. As usual, clean your tools off. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.